Hey, good morning or good evening. This is America Razio, and this is your host. I am your host, Shinichi Ohashi. Well, to celebrate my first radio show, I would like to congratulate the recent accomplishment of Democratic Party of the United States of America to to have a presidential leadership in White House. And well, this is I try to sound like sarcastic, but there's nothing more to say. Well, there's nothing more interesting than what's gonna be happening in the United States. Well, it looks like the nation's is pretty divided between conservative force and progressive or leftist. Um, yeah, well, the whole thing, yeah, is I don't know. From looking from the outside, it sounds like a big mess, and with all news broadcast, from CNN and or the American Global TV station, and I would not know where this is all going, but be assured, God is always watching, and to the faithful, there's nothing to be worried about. Yes, but I'm not really talking as a Christian or someone who talking from doctrine or anything. I'm trying to kind of impress everyone with the idea that the humanity cannot lead itself. We always need to be guided by something greater than us. And this I named it talk show from heaven. Well, in our theology or our religious script, actually, the idea came from a religious script from the ancient time, that we possess, where it says that we had um, global rulership, and believe it or not, which the grand headquarter of the world rulership was had a main location on this you know on one of these Japanese islands, and we call it Honshu. Honshu is the biggest one, but that's when we had this um, world headquarter, you know. And I don't know like how much is it's true or not, but we had a kind of dictatorship, but which not really like it's not really like you know you think of um because in terms of history that we've known with Hitler and Japanese empire and imperialism and all that, or any of it, dictatorial state where like a ruler is in control over everything, everybody. It's not that kind of a world rulership, but it was it was said to be a benevolent leadership. But anyhow, yeah, but that's beside the point. But what I'm trying to say is that yeah, we have to believe or have faith in something which is greater than us. And well, it makes sense that we are in this world only temporarily. Nobody lives forever. There's a physical world. In this physical world, nothing is eternal, but our spiritual world is. So we cannot have any type of attachment because attachments becomes a cause of suffering. Like the Bible says the same thing. So and yes, there's a lot of crazy things going on in this world, and the religion has always been a big topic that that has caused many wars and conflict, among nations and stuff. And for this episode, I actually wanted to introduce this organization called Universal Love and Brotherhood Association. It's actually it is related to a motto that I've been mentioning quite frequently on my Twitter. My Twitter account that I had like a while ago. The one I have now is a new one. I don't really remember, but well, I was going with my name, so but well, anyhow, yeah, I still mention Moto sometimes, but it's this Universal Love and Brotherhood Association. We are trying to reach everyone. Yeah, I'm really hoping that this organization will help solve many things, you know, and some yeah, there are many people out there who want to be reached out, and for many reasons, like some people are been victims of some cultic and fanatical, factions. Mm, like I the world leadership, you know, this world is being centralized in like it's been centralized, but power is being decentralized. It's kind of hard to explain, but like covert rulership and something or some entity is holding it, hold is in control. And but on the other hand, in reality, power is being decentralized. So that's why someone like me got this, you know, this mean of communication to reach out to people all around the world. So it is like decentralization. Back in time, if you want to know about what's going on in a foreign country, you really needed to go through your you know authority, your government, because they were the only guys who would know what's going on the other side of the world. But now in this age, information you can you be able to know what's going on on the other side of the world, if you have someone who sends out the information. So yes, this war has been going both ways. centralized in one aspect, like through censorship and like yeah, that. But on the other hand, yes, information travels everywhere. And as I speak, in my apartment studio, I can reach out to someone in, New York or London and stuff. But so I would like to accommodate everyone. I would like to, talk to anybody who wants to be reached out, and not to mention what is called target individuals. And I when I was in the United States, I, I was like someone who was watched out for, and I share, I share with the people, over their experiences that yeah, that they want to be heard by, by someone. They needed to be know. And I think I'm, it's like they're, like, yes, victims. Yeah, there are victims out there, and there are offenders, you know. And as far as I'm, don't get me wrong, but I think offenders are equally um, vic- victimized or are victims as well by, by the system, you know. Yeah. Well, and they, it's kind of a psychological thing, but ultimately, both sides are being led to worship something that they shouldn't. I think I read a story about an offender, who just was, really pulled into the dark side, you know, because the system goes that the 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 more harm, you cause people, then the better you go up, more reward. And I mean, it's like, well, think of that, you know, you end up in hell. I mean, for Christ's sake. I mean, and in targets too. Like when I was a target, when I was being targeted, like I mean, it's like I was in a bad shape, like psychologically. You know, like I was in some sense I was being set up to go after, sex and money and, all those material things. Yeah, but you don't want to be misled in your life, but you allow, those forces outside yourself to lead you toward the wrong direction. So we don't want that. And when, when your morality, your sense of morality gets shaken, then who do you turn to? First, you turn to your conscience. Then you need to turn to God. You need to really have a faith in something which is greater than our life down in this world, this physical world. We are not. We don't live in this world forever. Everybody everybody will be passed on to the other side someday. So in this temporary residentship in this world, then what should we do? For other people. I mean, that's where conscience tells you about what you should be doing. You know. But I have a lot to offer. I mean, I know a lot of things, and I would like to share. You know, I would like to have more chance to talk to you guys and to share, what I've known. Um, like it's been, yeah, sure, it wasn't really pleasant experience, being watched all the time and feel like something is someone is um, like hearing what I say, everything, watching everything I do, and even what I think to the extent. And but because of that, I've grown faithful. I mean, faith is nothing that develops overnight. Faith is something you grow over time. It's like exercise. You need to exercise, like you can do it by like praying like every day. But first you need to have faith. Faithful is someone who doesn't have that discipline, or who hasn't gone through a training. I mean, it's really, faith is really like it's like a muscle training, I would say. But if you don't know, you know, if you don't know that, oh, I believe in God, I'm a Christian, then you don't have any strength in your faith. Then you don't. It's the same as you don't have any faith at all. So, well, time's up. So I think I'm gonna call for to quits for today. But thank you for listening, and I would like to just keep doing this and try to reach out to everybody who'd like to listen to me. So okay, um, enjoy your day. Have a good evening. Good night. Whatever applies to you. But I yes, I would like to keep doing this. So okay, thank you very much. Um, America, Razio. Razio is, by the way, in Japanese, radio is Razio. So I kind of spelled out Razio for to mean radio. So, but by the way, anyhow, America, Razio. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.